How Janet Jackson had the greatest 72-week period in music history, presented by Soulful Charts. Janet Jackson is a part of what is arguably the greatest family in the history of pop music. Janet's 5 older brothers dominated the charts in the 60s and 70s, performing as the Jackson 5. And one of those brothers, of course I'm talking about Michael Jackson, had an incredible solo career and is considered by many to be the greatest entertainer to have ever lived. Michael's Thriller album is one of the best-selling albums of all time. The album held the crown as the highest certified album for decades. But this video is about Janet, a superstar in her own right. She was arguably the biggest pop star of the 1990s and in the top 10 all time. This video is going to focus on the remarkable achievement of Janet's 4th studio album, Rhythm Nation 1814, specifically the chart performances of the album's singles. Okay, so let's jump right into it. During a 72-week period, 18 months, between September 30th, 1989 and February the 9th, 1991, which is about a year and a half, Janet Jackson had 7 singles off the Rhythm Nation album to reach the top 5 on the part charts. That's right, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, 7 of Janet's singles from that iconic album peaked into the top 5 of Billboard Hot 100. Let's quickly do an overview of the Billboard chart data for each of these 7 singles. Starting out with Miss You Much, the album's lead-in single. The song entered the top 5 on September 30th, 1989. It peaked at number 1 the following week. It was the number 1 song on Billboard Hot 100 for 4 weeks. It spent a total of 6 weeks in the top 5. Next up, Rhythm Nation, the single. It entered the top 5 2 days before Christmas on December 23rd, 1989. The song spent 2 consecutive weeks at number 2 on Billboard Hot 100. The record spent a total of 4 weeks in the top 5. Escapade, the album's 3rd single, entered the top 5 right around Valentine's Day on February 17, 1990. The song peaked at number 1 2 weeks later. Escapade spent 3 consecutive weeks at number 1 on Billboard Hot 100 and a total of 6 weeks in the top 5. Alright, the album's 4th single. Alright entered the top 5 on May 26, 1990, peaking at number 4 a week later on June 2nd. The record spent a total of 2 weeks in the top 5 of the Billboard Hot 100. Come Back to Me, the album's 5th single. The smooth ballad entered Billboard Hot 100's top 5 on August 18, 1990. It peaked at number 2 on that date. The song spent 2 consecutive weeks at number 2, which is the same amount of time it spent in the top 5, 2 weeks. Black Cat, the album's 6th single, entered the top 5 on October 13, 1990. It peaked at the top of the Billboard Hot 100 2 weeks later on October 27, 1990. It spent 1 week at number 1 and a total of 4 weeks in the top 5. Last but not least, Love Will Never Do Without You, the album's 7th single, entered the top 5 12 days into 1991. A week later, on January 19th, the song peaked at number 1. The song was on top of the Billboard Hot 100 for that 1 week. Love Will Never Do Without You spent a total of 5 weeks in the top 5. Now, that's a lot of top 5 singles. Janet's lucky 7. And out of those 7 singles, Miss You Much and Escapade both spent the most weeks in the top 5, 6 weeks each. And Miss You Much spent the most weeks at number 1. For 4 weeks, it was the number 1 song on Billboard Hot 100. So let's give Janet's impressive run during this 72-week period some more context. From September 30th, 1989 to February the 9th, 1991, Janet Jackson had one of her 7 singles in the top 5 during 29 weeks of a 72-week period. That's 40% of the time. Another way of stating this, Ms. Jackson had a hit single in the top 5 of Billboard Hot 100 for 7 months within an 18-month period. 4 out of the 7 singles that reached the Billboard Hot 100 were number 1 hits. Janet had a single off the Rhythm Nation album reach number 1 for 9 weeks within a 72-week period. That's having a number 1 record for 12.5% of the time. Or stated another way, Janet had a number 1 hit for 2 months total within an 18-month period. So that's pretty impressive, right? So why is this feat, having 7 singles from one album peaking to the top of Billboard Hot 100, why is it so significant? Well, Billboard reported that when Love Will Never Do Without You, when that song reached the top 5 on Billboard Hot 100 chart, it was the first time in pop music history that an album had 7 singles reach the top 5 of music's pop charts. The first time ever. A recorded music industry record. That's what Janet accomplished with her Rhythm Nation 1814 album. Georgia Michael's 1987 album Faith scored 6 top 5 singles. So that's the record Janet broke. But check this out. Here's a little more context. Janet's breakthrough 3rd album, Control, released in February 1986, scored 5 top 5 singles. Janet follows up that great achievement with 7 top 5 singles from the Rhythm Nation album. So that's 12 top 5 singles off back-to-back albums. That too was a record-breaking achievement in the music industry. And who did Janet surpass when she accomplished this feat? No other than her superstar big brother, the king of pop, Michael Jackson, who had 10 top 5 singles off his back-to-back albums, Thriller and Bad respectively. Janet Jackson had the whole world caught up in her Rhythm Nation. The album is one of her best-selling projects, certified 6 times platinum. It was the 7 strong singles off that album that powered the engine of Rhythm Nation 1814. Those 7 singles dominated Billboard's pop charts. Janet has had one of the most storied careers in the history of pop music, full of many, many months, in fact many years of dominance. Janet was so hot for so long that it's a challenge to pinpoint any single period in which she shined her brightest. But an argument could be made during that year and a half between September 30th, 1989 and February 9th, 1991, Janet Jackson had the greatest 72-week period in music history. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, hit the like button and leave your thoughts in the comments. Have a soulful music topic you would like to see featured on Soulful Charts? Let me know, and maybe I'll give it a go in an upcoming episode. I encourage you to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell in order to be notified when new videos get released. And one more thing, share this channel with other connoisseurs of soul music. Peace.